Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot to talk about. This is great news. Now, Bill Nelson, of course, hasn't conceded because he hasn't won. He'll never concede. It'll be 2024, and Trump will have finished his second term, and Bill Nelson will have still been saying that he was going to win, and there's a recount in Broward County. That being said, I'll go right into it. This is floridapolitics.com. It's actually a really great website, floridapolitics.com. And let me tweet this out. How about now? Winning first recount. Rick Nelson asks again for Bill Nelson to concede. So this is to my super chat, by the way. Thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Republican Governor Rick Scott is declaring victory again after the machine recount of last week's U.S. Senate election appears to have increased his lead. And he called again on Democratic U.S. Senator Bill Nelson to concede. Nelson, of course, is doing no such thing, as his campaign has been counting all along on the next required step, the upcoming hand recount of over and under votes. But that's not going to be enough to be his best shot at overcoming Scott's lead. See, that won't be enough. So they stated in the beginning that there's a statistical impossibility for Nelson to win. The latest poll tabulation with the Florida Division of Elections shows Scott leading by 12,603 votes. That's an increase of 41 votes from the last pre-count vote reported Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, Broward County and Palm Beach, Florida, they haven't finished their recounts. The judge ruled today that they cannot continue. So they can't swing the election to Nelson. Nelson and his campaign have not commented on the latest recount tabulation, but have called a press conference for early Thursday evening. Okay. With Florida Secretary of State Ken Densner, while Florida Secretary of State has not yet ordered a manual hand recount of votes in the U.S. Senate race, it's all but a certainty, given that the 13,427 margin still is well below the 0.25% difference in voting results that automatically triggers a hand recount. So there might be another hand recount. There might be another recount. But as of right now, Bill Nelson's lead has increased. I'm sorry, Rick Scott's lead has increased. And this is the second recount. So you have a situation where this is absolutely ridiculous. Now check it out, ladies and gentlemen. 47 Democrats. And they say, well, now they're talking about that it was a blue wave. If Florida is indicative of what's taken place throughout the country, there was a tremendous amount of cheating. But that's what Democrats do. Just ask Bernie Sanders. Just ask Putin, who allegedly hacked the DNC to inform everyone that Hillary Clinton, to inform everyone that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was cheating Bernie Sanders. But you have 47 Democrats as of right now, and 51 Republicans. So just without Rick Scott, just right now, you have 51 to 49. That's still a two. That's the same thing you had last during Kavanaugh and Gorsuch. You had a 2-senator lead. Okay, Jeff Flake is no longer there, so Markowski is going to have to team up with somebody, some other Democrat, Republican person to try to prevent Amy Coney Barrett. Who knows? But it's still a 2. So you vote across party lines. The 2. I'm sorry, no. It's 47. There's 47 Democrats. Is that including No, 2 independents. So let's say it's 49 Democrats to 51. If they gained 1 seat, Dunamis, yes. Flake is there until January 3rd, 2019. Flake actually was like, oh, well, I want a bill protecting Mueller. If I don't get a bill protecting Mueller, then I'm not going to vote for any judges. It's like, you know what? We have, 2 more months, not even a month and a half till the end of the year. Then we don't have to deal with Flake anymore. But they gained 1 seat. So there is, they gained 1 seat and lost 1 seat. Sorry. See, my math, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm having a difficult time just, if this is the case, right now, Republicans have a 4-seat lead. 4 seats. That's without Rick Scott. So ours plus 3. Republicans, I'm looking at here in the New York Times, 51 Republicans, 47 Democrats. But I'm not sure if they're adding the independents. Democrats lost 1 seat. Republicans gained 1 seat. With Rick Scott, they will have gained 2 seats. Then you'll have the Mississippi special election. And the Republican there will very likely win, although it's very close in terms of the polls. Generally, you would think the Republican's going to win Mississippi, but you have nonstop media apparatus. So Democrats 45 plus 2, 47. 47 to 53. So they can't do anything. If Mississippi's 47 to 53. So, okay, so 47 Democrats to right now 51, with Rick Scott 52, with Mississippi 53. All right. That is correct. Correct? Press 1 if that's correct. Press 1 if that is correct. 47 Democrats to 51, 52 with Scott. So that would be a 5. That's right. So we have a 5-senator. They're powerless to do anything. There's a 5-senator advantage. Thank you, Doug E. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You're educating me. I appreciate that. I get so confused with the 2 independents. Doug E. While we are all focused on watching Florida, we are not paying attention to the other elections. We just lost Maine's 2nd district due to algorithms. All these tight races keep going Democrats. Doug E. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. All the Democrats, Ralph Nieves, thank you. All the Democrats just went tight races. We got love. Q called 53 force. Okay. We got love. Sessions is not there anymore, and Sessions was not so good for the country or Trump. But we got love. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Doug E. Thank you. So they keep talking about this blue wave. It's a blue wave. Oh my God. But you know what? At the end of the day, there was a heck of a lot of suspicion regarding foul play. Suspicion is enough for Democrats to investigate. They don't need evidence. They don't have to say. They can make claims without evidence. It's the Republicans who look at actual events that correlate to cheating, and it's the Republicans who can't make claims like, hey, you know what? They're probably cheating in Broward County. You can't make that claim. You have no, what, just because a judge stated that they illegally destroyed ballots? Just because Bernie Sanders was cheated? Just because Hillary Clinton tried to cheat Barack Obama in 2008 in Nevada and other places? Immunity for Uma Clinton Schultz was defunct as they lied countless times on record and to investigators. I hope so. Aussie J, I agree with you. Thank you, Aussie J. Doug E. That's true. All the late elections are just going. Isn't that interesting? So you got 47 Democrats, 51 Republicans. How are they going to stop Amy Coney Barrett? How are they going to get anything they want past the House? I mean, through the Senate. They're not going to impeach Trump. If a Medicare for All bill passes the House, which I don't think, I think that you're going to see a lot of Democrats not voting for it. But you already have a 4 Senate lead, a 4 senator lead. You've increased your lead in the one chamber that can prevent impeachment, can elect or can nominate to the Supreme Court the next nominee. Trump will have presided very likely over 3 Supreme Court picks. That's amazing. I'm very happy about that, especially since I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment now. And the way Democrats are leaning towards not just erasing the Second Amendment, but also the First Amendment, if it doesn't fit their agenda. So how about now, winning first recount, Rick Scott asks again for Bill Nelson to concede. It's becoming absurd, completely absurd now. Last week, Florida voters elected me as their next U.S. senator, and now ballots have been counted twice. So there have been two recounts. I am incredibly proud and humbled by the opportunity to serve Florida and Washington. Scott declared in a statement released by his campaign after the machine recount deadline of 3 p.m. Thursday. The deadline already passed. Our state needs to move forward, so we'll see if they try to push for yet another recount. It's like they're not. Yes. Hello, HA, my dear friend from the United States of Banana. Oh, I laugh because crying is the alternative. Yes. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. So like I said, like I keep saying, they're not going to get anything. Their agenda is not going to pass the Senate. So right now, Pelosi is, it'll be 2 years of campaigning for, it'll be 2 years of campaigning for 2020, and they have no leader. They need to get things done in the House. They need to get things done in the House. The House Democrats were elected for Medicare for All. Now, if they don't get Medicare for All, you're not going to see these people keep their seats. Medicare for All bill. Progressive House Dems push for a vote on Medicare for All bill. Now, if they should be able to pass this through the House. They should be able to pass this through the House. It'll get completely blocked by the Senate. But I want to read you this. Progressive House Democrats push Dems push for Just one Dem. Thought it was House Dems. Pramila Jayapal, Pramila Jayapal, representative, a top progressive Democrat in the House, on Tuesday called for hearings and a vote on Medicare for all legislation now that her party has taken back the House. I agree with her. Even though I don't think it's going to work, and I'm not a proponent of Medicare for all, and the Mercatus study and the Urban Institute, well, the Mercatus study have to double to triple tax collections, which would lead to doubling or tripling tax rates unless you have this growing economy that won't be tanked by doubling or tripling tax collections. Because the Mercatus study says a double or triple in tax collection, and then somebody watching said, oh, HA, that doesn't mean doubling tax rates. Well, then how are you going to double tax collection? You're assuming that the economy will continue to grow at the rate that it's growing, which is awesome, which is the Trump economy. We are going to be pushing for it to get a hearing, to have this debate on the floor. They should. And this way, Pelosi will strike it down. I'll be very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised, if Pelosi doesn't strike it down. You can even see this divide among liberal pundits, liberal progressive pundits. There are pundits on the left who are like the I'm with her crowd, and there are pundits on the left that are Bernie Sanders, Medicare for all. We'll see who wins. I'd venture to say the I'm with her crowd wins, but who knows? They got to the House by telling people they're going to suddenly pass Medicare for all. We'll see. It'll be very interesting. It'll be very, very, very interesting. Veteran anarchy. Dems get caught in felonious activity. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All these like 5 or 6 to 10 House races are called after the election. Really? That's interesting. That's interesting because you barely won on election night, and then suddenly the blue wave continues a week later. Or you won by like 5 or 6 on election night, or 7. Australian news could be worse. You could be Britain's banana republic like Australia is. Oh my God, Aussie J, that would be horrendous. I don't think it's going to happen though here, because we do have the Second Amendment in our Constitution. So the bot 2007. Don't forget the Senate runoff election in Mississippi. Of course, Cindy Hyde-Smith. Yeah, I know. Definitely don't say anything stupid and idiotic if you're a Republican. One thing I did learn this election cycle, which I didn't think was the case, Democrats did not win because they offer anything. Democrats, there are different factions that hate each other within the Democratic Party. They didn't win because they offer anything. They won because they promised a lot. Let's see if they can follow through. And they won primarily because of the media. The media was a lot more powerful than I thought it would be. The media was a lot more powerful than I thought it would be. Every single day, Trump caused this. There's a chaotic, horrendous tragedy. Trump caused it with his words. That's why I wrote in the Jerusalem Post, President Trump's words do not incite hate. Just the other day, Hillary Clinton said, oh yeah, all people look alike. They all look alike. That's what she said. Horace! Q, how did Dems solve entitlement issue? A, more entitlements, of course. The Democratic platform is basically promise, get into power, and then don't even work towards achieving the promises or enacting the promises. Thank you, Horace, the bot 2007. Yeah, that could be the 53rd seat. But right now, I mean, this is what, the fifth time in 105 years, even with the media, that the Democrats kept the Senate in a year they should have lost the Senate. And then if the rebuttal is, well, you had a lot of senators, up for re-election. Yeah, you had 40 people in the House up for re-election. But red districts going suddenly to Democrats, that's not going to stay like that forever. This was a complete media-driven, Mueller-driven, really theft. That's really what took place. Democrats essentially stole the House with absolute media collusion. All you heard about was Trump-Russia collusion. There's no evidence, yet Trump makes a claim about Broward County, and then the media is like, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. Well, there's no evidence of Trump-Russia. What, simply because James Clapper said something and John Brennan is highly confident? Conservative to the core. The Steele dossier purchased by Hillary Clinton. This is a fact. This is a fact. There's one guy, one pundit on the left. He's like an I'm with her pundit. He made fun of me, which is kind of hilarious. He poked fun of my name, and he poked fun of my name in an attempt to like claim that like I'm just this wacko person. That's because to him and to others, Clinton crimes, like Hillary Clinton committing crimes, is a fantasy. It's the most absurd notion. They can't even imagine that she didn't use computer service for yoga. They can't even imagine that. They can't even imagine that. So I am like, this crazy lunatic. And it's a couple of people who've tried to poke fun at me. More of the I'm with her people, not so much the progressives. But it's like they're the ones who are living in an alternate reality. They're the ones who think that Hillary Clinton was a great candidate, never committed crimes, and then, oh, by the way, they're like petrified that she'll run again. Truth hurts 18. Trump held on FISA while Dems won the House, quote unquote. Yep. He has a bargaining tool and gained the Senate. Oh, the Senate Judiciary Committee. Yeah. Big time. Big time. Truth hurts 18. Daisy Coco. Medicare for all will result in long lines and decreased life expectancy for all except the rich. And I agree with that because they can afford to pay for their own private doctors. It will be a two-class system. Absolutely. Just like, in Canada and the UK, you can, have private insurance. It'll be the same thing. But the people with private insurance will have their taxes increased. Daisy Coco, thank you. Mick Mac, thank you, Mick Mac. What's the deal with Bill Nelson's forehead? It looks like looks like a motorcycle jacket back protector implanted in his forehead. He looks like Tales from the Crypt. And I tell you what, Rick Scott's not far away. Rick Scott is not far away. They should be extras in the next, like, Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th. Both of them. But, Scott looks like, Brad Pitt compared to Nelson. Nelson is in a league of his own. Greg H., thank you. Nelson is in a league of his own. This guy he's a very handsome man. He's a very handsome man. Bill Nelson is a wonderful human being. I have nothing but great things to say about him. He's really, really wonderful. Like all Democrats, nothing but great things. Adam Bomb 31458. Stupid comment won't change. Worst case 52-48 Dems. Yep. Scott win 53-47. P.S. Your house prediction based on facts. Your mistake, not factoring fraud. Thank you, Adam Bomb 31458. I'm beginning to see that something's going on here, and Trump needs to be very careful. Adam Bomb 31458, thank you. Trump needs to be very careful in 2020. He needs to be very, very, very careful. And I still believe that he needs to find a way to speak to the average American. He needs to find a way to speak to circumvent the media. The media is non-stop Trump. Non-stop Trump. And that can't continue. It cannot continue. I'm one of the few channels, along with like Styx and Lionel and Hard Bastard, and there's a lot of good channels actually for Trump supporters. The Amazing Lucas is great. Shalala is awesome. Brandon Turner, Kevin's Corner. There's just a lot. There are a lot of channels, but it's the media, even alt media, is dominated by, well, maybe not alt media, but the media is dominated by I'm with her public relations executives. That has to be countered. Lady August in California. I have a soft spot for bald men unless they're Democrats. I look like a hippie now. I got a Lady August in California. I gotta get a haircut. But thank you so much, Lady August in California. Thank you. Something needs to take place. Micmac, thank you so very much. Something needs to take place because you increased your lead in the Senate. Now the Senate, like I said, the Senate looks great. The Senate is great. 4 votes right now, and it'll be 5 with Rick Scott. But 4 votes, a 4-senator lead. See, I'm just traumatized with Kavanaugh. Traumatized me. So I probably should explain why I keep saying that. I keep reiterating this like a crazy person. A 4-vote lead. What I mean by that is if they try to pull another Kavanaugh, which they will, if they try to pull they won't be able to. They won't be able to pull an Operation Estrogen Fury. That won't happen, especially if Trump does, appoints wants to nominate Amy Coney Barrett. I'm really looking forward to the optics, to the shenanigans, to the insanity, to how are they going to try and destroy a woman on national television. So they were able to do it to Kavanaugh, and now you have everybody from Avenatti to all of these people on the left who actually, there's evidence. Keith Ellison, there's apparently a videotape, and there's medical records. He's Attorney General, so the Me Too thing goes only one way. But it's just interesting. It's interesting to see. It's interesting to see how they'll try to destroy the next nominee, Supreme Court nominee. What will they do? If it's a woman, they will not be able to pull another Kavanaugh. Tamara Friedman. Sometimes I wonder if the left is complicit, blind, or just really dumb. All of the above. What happened to the Dems? Blue wave of theft. Love ya. #run. Yeah, no, I agree. It is. I think it's a blue wave of theft, but I think that it's a blue wave of suspicious behavior. How do you have every single late count go to Democrats? Almost every single late count went to Democrats. And where are the recounts for all the close races? There were like at least 10, 12 really, really close races and contests in the House. Where are the recounts? Where are the recounts? But tomorrow, I just think the media was just too much. It was just too much to overcome. We have a great economy. Yes, there's ups and downs with North Korea, but at least we're on our way to peace. Tamara Friedman, thank you. He just signed a prison reform, or Trump working on prison reform, an opioid bill. And it's like, because sorry, I thought you meant California. Conservative to the core. I think DeSantis is just way too. His lead was tens of thousands, not 12,000. I think they are still counting for governor, but I wouldn't worry about DeSantis. Conservatives to the core. I think that this is the second time Rick Scott has won. We'll see if he has to win a third time. that was, they're like, oh my God, we weren't able to cheat and steal that election. This is horrible. Terry Grieve, Internet Marketing. Do you have any regular scheduled live chats? Here is the latest Senate RCP. I don't have regular. I don't have a regular schedule because I don't know when I'm gonna just do the live chat. I try to do at least 2 a day, and then I have uploads as well. Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much. Let's look at the RCP. So I don't really know like what's going to happen the next 2 years. Nice. All right. So thank you. So Republicans, good. They're calling. Thank God. They are calling. So there's a 5 senator lead. A 5 senator lead. Meaning you can't find 5 Jeff Flakes. That's what I'm trying to get at. To the 1,600 people watching. That's what I'm trying to get at. You cannot find 5 Markowskis and Flakes, mainly Flakes. That's the point. That's the point. You're not going to be able to find 5 people who will flip. Because Jeff Flake was like, are you in my elevator? Are you in my elevator? If you're in my elevator, I cannot press down. Okay. In a galaxy far, far away, something took place. I believe I could fly. No, I don't believe Keith Ellison's accuser. But yes, if it's a Democrat, I do believe. I believe I can touch the sky. How do I get out of the elevator? Adam Bomb 31458. Florida smokescreen. DeSantis needs to pick. Nice. Snipes said, "Don't worry, I'll leave in 2020." Like they're going to be there. I guess there's no elections until 2020. Jeb, awful. I know Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush just he's like wants to wait until he knows Romney is the new Flake. Maybe. I don't think so. I think maybe J.B. Goth. You could be right about that. I think Romney has a better rapport with Trump than Flake. Flake is just, oh my God. So how about that Brexit? Yeah, that whole thing. Let's just read up on that. That's wow. Hold on one second. Yeah. It's like the people have spoken. They don't know what they're doing. Don't let them speak. Don't let them speak. They know nothing. The people know nothing. We know what's best for them. Wait, I just have to read this. However, House Democratic leadership has not expressed a willingness to hold a vote on Medicare for all, and top leaders have not signed on to legislation. I'm not laughing because I feel bad. I'm not laughing because I feel bad, but I don't want to, I don't want to gleefully laugh, but I knew this. Look, I was wrong on the House, obviously, but I'm right about a lot. I called Sessions leaving. In 2016, I said that Hillary Clinton would lose. She did, and that was like beyond groupthink. That was like beyond. I said there was nothing to Russia. I have a pulse of what's going on. I do, and I said that Democrats were playing. They were playing their voters. Nobody cared. Whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. They're not. I got to read this again. House Democrat leadership has not expressed a willingness to hold a vote on Medicare for all. Yeah, and they won't vote on it because they've been playing everyone. It's like I said this would take place. I knew this would take place. I'm sorry I'm spending a lot of time on this. Pelosi was playing. No Medicare for all. So I knew it. It's like it never. This is in the article. They're never going to change. They're never going to change. It is what it is. They can continue to get played, and that's the problem. They had enough people to deceive. There were enough Democrats to deceive. But can I tell you something? Let me tell you something. Hear me now, believe me later. The Democratic primary in 2020 is going to be the most dysfunctional cluster you know what. It is going to be the most dysfunctional. The most dysfunctional. The most dysfunctional. Because it's going to be all out conflict. It'll be all out conflict. The progressive wing, rightfully so, will tell Democrats, hey, we gave you the House. You promised us Medicare for all. What are you doing? You promised us all of these things, $15 minimum wage. We don't care about a ban on ARs, you stupid dummies. Why don't you just help us with Medicare for all, Pelosi? Pelosi will be like, ha, 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 ha. I told you. I run the show. You can't tell me anything. And then they're actually not going to vote. This is very interesting. It's going to help Trump's 2020 big time. Progressives are going to be so angry that I've been telling them the same thing forever, but just it'll be like a repeat of 2016, but worse, because you will have had 2 years, and Pelosi's like, not now. What was that? Medicare for all? Next month. Next month passes. 2 months from now. Keep watching The Usual Suspects and people telling you that Medicare for all will take place. Okay, it'll happen. Believe us. Let's see. Ebenezer Adams, in what other country can people vote without ID? Requiring ID would mean I agree with that. I mean, with everything going on now, with the Florida recount, and everyone has ID. It's actually a very racist thing to think that people don't have ID. So yeah, I mean, but you have now with Rick Scott, you'll have a 5 senator cushion. You can't find 5 Jeff Flakes. This is in a way, the midterms were a big victory for Republicans. Because right after midterms, you have Matthew Whitaker. Florida man, if you take out the corruption and cheating, you were probably right about the House. Thank you, Florida man. Thank you very much. Florida man, thank you very much. Well, I mean, you got Rick Scott now. He's won twice. Rick Scott has won twice. Rick Scott has actually won Florida twice. He's actually won Florida not once, but twice. It's unbelievable. It is really, really unbelievable when you think about it. When you think about when you think about usually you just win one contest. Usually you just win one contest. Oh, Johnny Five, I didn't see. Check out cool satire. I'll check it out. Chad, Beto guy in Texas running POTUS 2020 worried. I hope Beto runs. Trump will clown him so hard. So hard. Oh my God. This is not good. This is not good at all. I'm reading this. U.S. is optimistic it will prosecute Assange. This would steer me away from being a Trump voter. I don't know what President Trump is doing, but he needs to move away from any thought of prosecuting Assange and simply do what he claimed. Assange is a publisher. There's no reason. Thank you, Florida man. Thank you. There's no reason to go after Julian Assange. He's a publisher. And he published the truth about Hillary Clinton, the truth that the I'm with her crowd and many people, even progressives, don't want to. The left has abandoned Julian Assange, completely and utterly abandoned Julian Assange. Completely and utterly abandoned Julian Assange. So it's just now Roger Stone is, I mean, this is the thing. Roger Stone kind of thrust himself into Mueller's sights with his whole, oh yeah, I spoke to Julian Assange. Julian Assange and WikiLeaks have categorically denied contact with with Roger Stone. The whole Jerome Corsi thing, that is horrible. They're just trying to, Mueller is just trying to destroy people's lives. It's not even really about Russian hacking or anything. So Omar Pena, small token of my appreciation. Omar Pena, thank you so very much, Omar, for watching. Thank you, Omar Pena. Thank you, thank you. What are your views about Hillary going on TV proclaiming GOP is stealing election? Yeah, Assange to be charged and cleared. Well, the whole thing, like the charged and cleared thing, I don't want that would make me not be a Trump voter, and that's just horrible. That's just horrible. I don't know why that would be the case. Hillary Clinton actually committed crimes that hurt the country. With Clinton, she's always gonna in Georgia. She's just gonna continually say things. She's gonna scratch and claw in terms of power. Colette Ryan, 56. You have morphed into an amazing journalist. Funny too. Trump won Michigan twice. Is Michigan lost forever? Well, we almost Republicans. Colette Ryan, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, Colette. I love the name Colette, by the way. Colette is a beautiful name. Colette Ryan. Yeah, that's right. Well, Michigan, John James almost won. I mean, he was on his way to winning. The media wanted nothing to do with any Republican. Just wanted absolutely nothing to do with any Republican. So, Colette Ryan, thank you so very much as always. Thank you, Colette. Thank you. Donald Trump, yes. The inner workings, thank you, Sean, for this. The inner workings of Mueller's investigation are a total mess. They have found no collusion, have gone absolutely nuts. They are screaming and shouting at people, horribly threatening them to come up with answers they want. They are a disgrace to their nation. That's true. Then people are like, oh, obstruction of justice. But there shouldn't have been an investigation. How can you obstruct justice within an investigation that should never have taken place? Then you're just, you're criminalizing, you are using the law, just the process of the law, to put people in jail, not actual crimes. Universities will someday study what highly conflicted is true and not Senate approved. I love that. Oh, oh, Trumpy. I love it. Bob Mueller and his gang of Democrat thugs have gone to destroy people. It's true. Why is he protecting crooked Hillary, Comey, McCabe, Lisa Page, and her lover, Peter S.? Yes, and all of his friends on the other side. Do what you need to do now. I don't want to hear any excuse. Well, there's too many people. Do it. If they get out of it, at least you tried. I'm sharing right now Eric H526's videos right now. By the way, I'm thinking of opening up a Twitch account as well. Does anybody know anything about Twitch? I don't even know if they if you can, speak about politics, but so Eric H526, I just went ahead and shared your everybody subscribe to Eric H526's gaming channel. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Um, Stream me. Okay. Yeah. Twitch is only for gaming. Is Twitch only for gaming? Let me know on the live chat. I want to hear this. Is Twitch only for gaming? I will leave many. Can you like? Can I upload a vid saying Hillary Clinton's running in 2020? She's fantastic. Patreon. Tamara Friedman. Thank you. It's not just for gaming. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So press 1 if I can if Twitch will allow a channel to talk about politics like mine, and if I could upload, hey, Clinton 2020. Press 1 if that's possible on Twitch. Okay, good. 2. Oh, 1. Okay. 0. All right. So there's like a power play going on right now, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Thank you, everyone. I don't know why President Trump doesn't act. I think that he might act early January. I'm hoping. Thank you, Sean, for this. Thank you. So, all right. So the inner workings of the Mueller investigation are a total mess. The Mueller investigation, he's due a report. The report is due. The Mueller report is due. So I don't know what what the problem is. You've gained in the Senate. You have Lindsey Graham yesterday stating that he wants to start a Clinton email investigation again. Brian S. HA, the new subs need to know how prescient and well informed you were in 2016. I've been subbed since you had 3,000 subs. Thanks. Brian S. Thank you so very much. My God. Brian S. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for sticking with me for so long. And we've been through this together. Thank you, Brian. I mean, that's the very, very, very beginning. I remember, I mean, I don't have a very big channel, but hopefully it'll hit 130,000 subs by tonight or tomorrow. I remember people my political adversaries making fun of me when I had 5,000 subs. I remember one guy saying, "You just have 5,000 subs." I just appreciate that. Brian S., thank you so very, very much. Thank you for your support, the super chat, but mainly for being here for so long. It's awesome. Thank you so very, very much. Brian S., thank you. Yeah, I've changed a lot. I don't think I've changed. My personality hasn't changed, but I've changed a lot. And I've left that cult. I've left the cult. And it's a lot better. It's a lot better. The Justice Department. Yeah, I don't. So there's a breaking. The Justice Department is preparing to prosecute WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. That's different from the WSJ article, the Wall Street Journal article. The Wall Street Journal article doesn't actually say that, but I don't know what you could. I don't know how you could prosecute Julian Assange and not Hillary Clinton. Clinton actually. Thank you, Denise T. Thank you so very much. I'm honored. Thank you so very much, Denise. Thank you for the kind words. One thing about me, I'm just going to go hardcore, 100% all in against the arrogance of the imbeciles and inept fools. Democrats. Horace, Judicial Watch Court arguments lead to HSC answering upcoming questions about our emails under oath. That's right. I spoke about that yesterday, Horace. Yeah. Does he, hopefully the beginning of next year, what they have to do, what Trump is doing, he's like, just wait, Matthew Whitaker, because they try to disparage Matthew Whitaker. He's not constitutional. Matthew Whitaker, he needs to be appointed by the Senate. No, Mueller wasn't. But Nikos. Oh yeah, I did an upload and my face was like this when I did the upload about the whole Avenatti thing. Bah. Ursula. Hello, Ursula. Hello in the UK. Ursula, thank you. Thank you to my UK viewers. Thank you for watching always. Oh, Horace, always great to have you here. Yeah, everybody, thank you so very much, Ursula. Xavier Foster, Julian Newport. I don't want to, Xavier. I don't want to take that risk. But I think that I think there's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's a lot going on. Oh, Rick Scott just tweeted, last week, Florida voters elected me as their next U.S. senator. He's gonna tweet this every day for the next 10 years. Last week, Florida voters elected me as their next U.S. senator, and now the ballots have been counted twice. I am incredibly proud and humbled by the opportunity to serve Florida and Washington. Our state needs to move forward. This is hilarious. No, I'm not laughing at Rick Scott. I'm laughing at Bill Nelson, because Bill Nelson's like, no, you don't. You don't even know. You don't even know what I'm going to do. Tales from the Crypt. Nelson. So they'll still be voting on the midterms, Democrats, in January of 2019. So, you know how it goes. Mel Blanc, he was awesome. Spirit Walker, he was great. Stan Lee, I love Stan Lee. He was, and Kirby, Jack Kirby was amazing too. Stan Lee, they're in heaven together. Stan Lee. Of course, Vox. Blasphemy. Why would Vox, the darker side of Stan Lee's legacy? Thank you, Vox. Why don't you write a hit piece on Santa Claus also and the Tooth Fairy? Go ahead and do it. Johnny 5, Bill Nelson lost twice. He's a failure. That's he might lose the third time. Actually, I hope not. Um, so and then it's like how should we remember Stanley? Yeah, that he's a hero. What is this stuff? My God, my God. Jack Kirby's former assistant discusses Lee's legacy and how tributes to the Marvel giant only get it half right. Fine. There was like with all two great men or two great women, there were clashes. Fine. They're both great. They're both amazing. Steve Ditko also. All three. These are legends. Legends don't always get along, you know. But we should not use it's like nowadays everything's ruined by gossip. We live in a gossip culture. Our I'm not ignoring Julian. I don't want him prosecuted. I wrote President Trump should pardon Julian Assange. And I was very, 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 very fortunate to have Mrs. Christine Assange say that I was one of the journalists who have defended and will always defend Julian Assange. I do think the Wall Street Journal article, I don't see why there would be pressure to. I know that there is pressure. I know that his life is at risk. I understand this, but I can't imagine Trump focusing more on Assange than Hillary Clinton. He won't have a day's rest in his life. Neither will his family. Trump, if Matthew Whitaker doesn't do what is just, follow the evidence and indict Clinton. That's true. One of my friends just told me something right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they want. It's a great point. I don't think they want Julian Assange to prove Russian hacking never happened, because that's exactly what would take place. So, um, great point. Great point. Um, no, I mean, if God forbid something, horrible takes place with Assange, no, I mean, I can't see myself voting for Trump. But, you know, I love Julian Assange. I think he's a hero. Bernie Sanders should have represented for Julian Assange, but Bernie Sanders doesn't even represent for himself. And now he's getting it up the regarding Medicare for all. Sean, thank you. So they won't charge Assange. The last thing they want is him in court. It would destroy the hacking narrative. Yeah. Sean, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think there were a lot of things taking place. By the way, share my Jerusalem Post article, and I will be published also in the Times of Israel very soon. So that's good. Very good. Very honored. President Trump's words do not incite hate. Johnny Five, yeah. Pompeo, though, that's. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you to all 1,300 people. Thank you, Durf Ransom. Thank you. Medicare for all will not be voted on because Nancy Pelosi made a promise she did not keep. But let me tell you something. I am urging everyone to defeat Trump in 2020 by continuing to vote for people who will never, ever pass a Medicare for All bill. No. I'm not. Kirby, if you're referring to voting for Bernie, I'll never do that. That's been compromised. That whole thing's been compromised. Look what's taking place. I mean, Medicare for All is not feasible. Justinian, thank you. But they lied. Pelosi lied. She lied her way into the House by having other people promise Medicare for All. And Justinian, thank you. And the media, the unending media. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Scott, we'll slowly wrap it up. Rick Scott, thank you, Eric H526. Rick Scott just tweeted out the following. It'll be funny, like next week, last week, Florida voters elected me as their next U.S. Senator, and now the ballots have been counted twice. Notice how when Democrats win, God forbid you would count the vote twice. I am incredibly proud and humbled by the opportunity to serve Florida in Washington. Our state needs to move forward. He won. He won, people. He won. The guy won. Max Deplorable would be great. Great to get Julian in court. Let him test it. That's right. Max Deplorable, thank you. Max Deplorable. All right, everyone. I will be back. God bless. God bless you all. Thank you so very much. Check out my upcoming Times of Israel articles. And thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you. Rick Scott won, ladies and gentlemen. He won. Just he won twice. Once, twice. I can't see, him winning 3 times, but it's possible. He's declaring victory. He won. The recount showed him up. He won. He won. Thank you so very much. God bless. I'll see you all very soon. Thank you.